Hi everyone, how are you doing? We are back, and like we promised you guys, we brought a professional that is going to discuss or tell us about condoms and tell us the truths and all the myths, and also confirm if whatever we told you last time is the truth. All right, so my name is Omboige Konya. We will give her time to introduce herself. How are you, Molly?
I am very fine. With the last episode,
Hmm?
we really talked a lot and we made fun because we delved into the history of condoms. That is where we started. Kidogo, we made fun because then it was funny because we were looking at the back then what were people using because we talk a lot about the usage of condoms and everything. So to engage our viewers, we wanted to start from at least where did we start from? We made fun, we laughed, we are still recovering from
Yeah.
some fun facts. But at the end of the day, the main message was just why we should use condoms. And we had told them that we will, specifically for this episode, we're going to bring an expert who understands more. Because aside from talking about the condoms, we'll also be dwelling a little bit into our sexual life as well. So we need to understand, like, why is it important for us to carry along condoms?
So please introduce yourself. Tell us what you do and everything about you.
Thank you, Wamboy. Thank you, Molly.
Oh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. Yeah, my name is Alice Gashigi. I'm a reproductive health specialist, and I work in county government of Laikipia Department of Health. I think for my entire life, and I think for the most of my time, I think reproductive health. I sleep reproductive health, and I'm very passionate, especially when I talk about reproductive health. And when I talk even to my comrades, even my youngsters, I always feel well utilized. And as Mori used, why should we use condom? And I
Yeah.
will ask, why should we use condom? Yes.
Yes, guys, like you've heard. So, and we asked you to ask questions kwa comments on our last videos. I hope walituma maswali,
Yes,
but
they
I also
did.
have people that
Definitely.
came to my inbox and asked questions. We are going to ask her today and she will answer us. Sawa sawa. And pia for this video, make sure if you have questions ama kuna kitu umeacha hujaelewa, please make sure to ask, tutamuuliza and then tutakujibu. Sawa sawa. So please tell us truths and myths about condoms. But before that, kuna kitu Muli aliniambia ya last episode, watu kitambo walikuwa wanatumia intestines for condoms. Na nika Google, it was the truth. Do you think intestines are healthy to be used as condoms?
I will not laugh it out, but I think where we are coming from, we are coming from a very, I would say, underprivileged communities. For example, if you can also look at the history of toilet paper. We didn't used to have toilet paper in
True.
the past.
Yeah.
We used to use the locally available
True.
materials. So our forefathers, they didn't have condoms in them. Actually, condom came with the era of HIV/AIDS, as all the developers and those strategists came to look on ways and means, because they cannot tell people not to have sex.
Yeah.
Then how can they continue having sex and not transmit the infections? And I think that is the time now we have intensively mobilized and encouraged people to use condom. Yes, people were using intestine because it can somehow resemble a condom. True or false, I may not have the fact on that whether they used, but the fact is it is not the best material to use, because
Yeah.
I think most of us have been involved in the nyamachoma things,
Yeah.
and those things are very easy to tear.
True,
And
true.
to the contrast, our condoms are very flexible, tough, and they don't tear that fast. And I know our boy has overemphasized on that. You put even 2 liters of water to that condom, it will
It
not
still
tear.
holds.
Unlike now for the motura that we easily actually tear with our even our hands. But we even came to a place where people would use the sugar paper, the polythene paper, ile karatasi ya askari ya kitambo. Yeah, and people would use that karatasi. Yes, in the occasion that they were very desperate. Yes, you cannot even afford that condom. So they used even that. So, and maybe there are even more other things that they use, including their pieces of clothes and so many other things, including socks. Yeah.
Socks.
Yes, we are coming from a background that is very, I would say, very unprofessional, uncivilized. But we then got to the technology.
Yeah.
That I will go to the chemist and get a studded chocolate or a strawberry flavored condom, and I have my leisure at my best.
Oh, and we also saw that. Was it the blood? I mean, what was it that was
Sheep.
reusable? Sheep.
Sheep bladder.
Yeah, sheep bladder. That
They
it was
called they called
reusable.
it a sheath.
It was reusable. Do you think it was healthy reusing it?
It is not healthy because, as we all know, there are some diseases that are habitant to the animals that we human being, if we come into contact with the blood products, we can easily contract those diseases. So I would say, with no even studies or research that have been documented, it is not healthy. The way we also discourage people taking blood when it is not well cooked, because you can easily transmit some of the diseases that we can get from our animals, the zoonotic diseases. Yes.
All right. Now, let's go to the myths about condoms. If you will just address them.
I know you guys knows about this myth. The very famous one. That sex with condom is not sweet. Utakulaje sweet na karatasi yake.
We had a discussion.
Yes. And I think that's just a very pure myth and a very strong one that discourages most of our youth.
Yeah.
But I think sex with the condom is very sweet. Add the aroma of the studded one, add the aroma of even the flavored one, the vanilla, name them. Sex with condom is very sweet. And what will even make it sweet? Because of even your psychology.
Yeah.
You're very sure with that condom, even if I do 5 rounds, I am still safe. Even if I feel like I have been fricted, as in my membranes have been torn, I don't have any contact with the other partner, fluids or anybody excretions. So I would say sex with the condom is very sweet. So that's a myth. For those who have not tried, I have tried. And I have actually enjoyed more sex with the condom. Yes.
Mmesikia? We told you last time na pia mmesikia. All
From
right?
an expert.
Yes.
Yes.
So about breakages. Now, remember the misconception, because our people always, oh, we cannot use it, will break easily. Yeah, they always make that.
Ni
as a-
kubwa, ni
Eh,
ndogo.
kujanga na excuses, hatuna mwelekeo.
That reminds me, when you sit in a clinic, you'll get all these funny cases coming to your way. Oh, my condom ruptured. Oh, my condom broke. And you even wonder, how did it break? The fact is, the rubber in this condom is very elastic and very accommodative to whichever size. So however big your reproductive system is, then it is not likely not to fit in your reproductive health system. It is very elastic. It can accommodate whichever size. So the issue to do with breakages, I think even Wambui here is a champion. Even if you put 2 kgs, that is 2 liters of water, that condom will not break. And I want to give reassurance to our Sure product that we get in our government places, that those Sure condoms have undergone a lot of verifications, have gone a lot of standardizations, and they are very strong. So chances of them breaking, it's a no. Chances of them actually giving room for a microscopic, transmissions of infections, it's a no. If you hear a government have undergone a Kenya Bureau of Standards, it has brought this product to our disposal. Just like any other medications, it is because it is of good quality. So I want to reassure my people out there, condom is good to use, because when you use it correctly and consistently, it will be 98% effective. It will prevent you from transmitting HIV/AIDS. It will prevent you even from transmitting pregnancy. But when used incorrectly, that's why we do penal demonstrations. When it is used incorrectly, 82% will be effective. Then 18% of women will either get HIV or will either get unwanted pregnancy. So we really encourage, let's get the right technique. How do you tear it? Do you check whether it was still broken before you used it? Do you check on the expiry date? Do you check on the right time to insert it? Do you also remove it appropriately? And overall, do you also discard it appropriately? Yes.
So I hope we've all gotten that, because we had also gotten your questions from can condoms break easily? Then, do they provide 100% protection? She has talked about it. So, and then, can you use 2 condoms for extra protection?
Now that it cannot
Nice
give
one.
100% protection ukiwa moja mbili.
No, you know what will happen when you add rubber on top of another rubber, you're going to create friction. And I think we have even tried that with our latex gloves in the ward. When you want to do a procedure and you do 2 gloves, you're not highly protected because you're causing two like materials, and they are now conflicting between them. So it is discouraged. For maximum protection, use appropriately using the right procedure, and 1 is enough for 1 round. And there is also that other perceptions. Oh, I went the first round with my condom, so all the sperms have been expelled, so we can go to the other round without one because the risk of you getting pregnant is very rare. No, the sperms are still there. Even when you go for 6 rounds, the sperms are still there. The HIV is still there. So use each new condom in each round. Don't use more than 1 condom in 1 cycle or in 1 round. Use just 1. Just use it correctly and consistently.
Hope mmesikia sawa sawa. You remember Molly and I had that discussion, and I promise you hatujaambia Alice chenye atasema. She knows it because she's a professional in that area, na amewaambia the same thing we told you guys. Sawa sawa. Yeah, I hope you've heard. I hope you're learning. And do you have another question before
I think for most of the questions, I'm seeing she has
answered already?
answered most of them.
Yeah.
Because when we are, why are condoms, I think that one, we've also answered that, why
Yeah.
they are essential for sexual health. Like, for me, I'm seeing she's answered most of them. So, like, maybe right now, we would just, like, dwell more on now, like, there's a question about flavored and textured and ultra thin options. Are they just for pleasure, or do they serve health purposes?
Good question. And for fear of fighting any business, they are for extra pleasure. About for extra protections, I may not be certain. Be sure where you get your products.
Yeah.
Even where we take our tea and our moturas and our soup, I know we always look. Where could be the source of that product?
True.
So when you're certainly sure that you can be assured that the product you're using is authentic, trust your conscience. But when you get yourself doubting the quality of whatever you're using, you may want to go for an ultra thin. Okay, some guys have always said, oh, it's too tight. Okay, fine, you expect it to be tight because there's a lot of blood flow happening during the process.
Yeah.
So you expect it to be tight, but the tighter the better. You do not have a risk of it slipping inside the female. But if it become too much that it's giving you some numbness after that, then we can even tell the Wamboi and Molly to use the female condom. Yeah, I know that has not been embraced very much, but it's even a sure bet. When a man cannot comfortably use that condom because maybe after the use, you may also be left crippled. We don't want you to be crippled at your age. Yes. So the Wamboi, you can use it interchangeably.
Yeah.
You can use one round, then Wamboi will use the next round.
Yeah.
Because we're also encouraging our women also to be they can control the whole process.
Yeah.
If my hubby do not want to use and I'm comfortable using it, just because I am not on my safe days, then I can comfortably access the female condom, use it, and it will leave the man comfortable.
Now, thank you so very much. Now, I have a question. Are people in relationships supposed to use condoms?
Good question. And who use condom? Even for those women who come to our family planning clinic, we have so many family planning methods. But are they effective immediately? When you put your githeri in the jiko, is it ripe or is it ready to use immediately? No. You must give it some time to boil and cook. So what happened to some of our contraceptions? When you give an implant or a jadel, it is not effective immediately for the next 7 days until it releases the progesterone into your system. So that is one candidate that can use condom.
Okay.
because you want to do some, you want to cover the few days that the implant has not affected in the system, and you prevent unintended pregnancy. So are the people in marriage supposed to use condom? Yes, because they can choose it as one of their method of family planning. And it is in one of our options. When you're choosing among the many hormonal, non-hormonal, condom actually sells more, because among all the other methods, it's the only family planning method or contraceptions that has dual protections, and we are assured of 98% effectiveness. So for those women who are having cardiac heart diseases, who have varicose veins, who have high blood pressures, who are not also very certain of their monthly periods, their husband do not live with them, it's a long distance relationship, those women can really be encouraged to use condom. And it is very safe, because you will not have the burden of the pill, the burden of the jab inside your system.
Yeah.
So we encourage couples to use condom. And when you also doubt where your partner has been for the last 1 month, even when you have a contraception method, a permanent method within your system, please use a condom until you're certainly sure that he is not infected and he is not sick. And in the absence of some sexually sexually transmitted infections, we can have some discharge. We can have some sores, maybe some warts in the vaginal area. That is also another time we encourage women and men in marriage to use a protections, because these infections that Alice is having can also be transferred to my husband if he come into contact with those sores, the gonorrhea discharge, and they can be transmitted if they didn't use a condom. So we also encourage people who have sexually transmitted infections to use condom in those treatment sessions, so that they can prevent themselves from getting the infection.
Oh, nice. Now, what are the differences, or what are the major differences between male and female condoms? Because some people have probably never seen a female condom. They've just seen the male condom, wanasikia tu female condom, hawajui inakaa jama, how it's used.
Okay, good question. And I think next episode we need actually to come with our female condom, demonstrate it in a woman pelvic. You see how to insert it and how comfortable it is. You can even go make your coffee and come back and continue with your shenanigan. You know, you can actually move around with it. It can just remain there.
We definitely will do that.
So that
Definitely
you don't just blame men for not coming with a condom, yet you have yours in your handbag. Yeah, actually, there is no difference. The difference is it's a male, it's a female. A man cannot use a female condom, and a woman in the vice versa cannot use a female condom. That is the only difference. The manufacturers are the same, the effectiveness are the same. When used correctly and consistently, it will give you the same effectiveness. So there's no major difference. But another maybe upcoming difference is the uptake. The uptake for the female condom is too much lower compared to the male condoms. What does that tell us? That we have left men to take control of our sexual life. That is plainly what it has meant. Unless it's you, the girl who goes to the chemist and buy the male condom, and you don't buy the female condom, and you take to your jama and you're like, you can insert it when you're ready. Let us also take charge. If I'm the lady, let me be the one in charge of inserting that female condom to my partner, so that I am very sure that he has inserted it very appropriately, without even using his nails maybe to tear it. I will use the right procedures, because I know also ladies have more information on how to use these condoms than even the users. Yeah, so I'll challenge all the women. I'll challenge all the women to be the one to actually get it from wherever it was, open it, and actually put it into the men. Yes.
So, guys, in the next episode, if you allow us, we will invite you again.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, we will demonstrate both the female and the male. Yes.
You will have to learn, guys. You see, right now, I don't know if you have another question.
Maybe on how to talk to your partner about using condoms, because there are some partners
when not open.
They're not even being open. Unamwambia we have to use condoms, but for them they're like, no, you are like, ilifo tu vile unasema, like now men have seen it, like now they're the ones who are in control of our
sexual
exactly, which is not good, because you also need to be at least tupewe hata sisi hiyo set tupewe, we are supposed to
To
be
take charge
control.
also.
exactly and say this is my body, this is like
Yeah.
mimi ndo sasa naamua if you're coming in
Alright.
or if you're not. So utasikia watu toxic feminist. I'm not I'm a feminist but I'm not toxic, but that is it.
That's being empowered.
Exactly.
Yes.
So now that one hiyo ya how to talk to your partner about using these condoms, alafu nitamwongelesha hadi unajua saa zingine kuna mwenye anakujanga tu na fujo, utashtuka tu pia wewe umemrudishia tu na hiyo fujo. So how am I going to talk to my partner?
The approach.
Yeah.
How will the approach be?
I think we are all going to campaign against toxic relationship.
That
Yes.
is one.
For a very good interactions in a relationship or situationship, whatever it is, and for a very enjoyable sex session, we must be in agreement. You're my partner, I am your friend. Yes. Do we know our HIV status? That should be our baseline. Because I know my status. I do not know your status. Let's be on the same ground. Let me know your HIV status. Let me know my HIV status. Number 2, are we ready to get a child?
Yeah.
If we agree we are not ready to get a child, how do we prevent ourselves from getting a child? And he's caring enough. He will actually agree to you using a protection to prevent yourself from getting unwanted pregnancy at that particular time. If you're not sure of his HIV status, don't consent to that unprotected sex. And that's why we are encouraging, as long as you are not in I would say in a long-term relationship, always introduce yourself into a new partner with a protections. 1, they will thank you later. Number 2, they will really respect you, and they'll also keep that distance. They will always say, hey, when I'm going to Mori, I must have my condoms with me, as long as I want to have sex with her. Let it be the prerequisite. For us to have this, we must have this. So how to talk about it? It's not rocket science. It's a do or die. It's either we have the condom or we don't have sex. And this is my urge to all the girls and all the boys, especially our teenagers and our young and adolescent people in the colleges. You have you have one here, you have another one here tomorrow. You don't know their status. Will you do your HIV status today and tomorrow? They don't even have that patience. They also do not want to disclose their HIV status. Maybe you are babas. They are not even that patient. They're not even ready to disclose. But they want you for that particular event. Of course, we are not encouraging for that extramarital relationship. But for you to be certainly sure that you still have a future to take care of, always have it as you, I would say an irreducible minimum. It is until I know your HIV status and your STI screening status that I'm not going to use a condom. And of course, are we ready to get a baby? If I'm not ready to get a baby, can I get the measures on how to prevent? So, but in any case, this is African sim. Our men are the decision makers. They have also to some extent controlled us, maybe due to the financial muscle. And as women, we are now vulnerable, and that's why we cannot stop talking about gender-based violence, because when I am not financially stable, I am also a bit susceptible and liable to a lot of violation. So I may not voice. I may not voice what I want. After all, I'm being fed. I'm being dressed. Even my rent is being paid. So where do I come in? Let me come in by protecting my own health, because I have a future to take care of.
True.
I hope watu wamesikia hiyo mambo ya kusema Molly is a toxic feminist. I'm not a toxic feminist. Now you've had it.
Yes.
Why? It's actually very important, because now as women, now you understand that you are the one who has to protect yourself first. As I always told, you need to love yourself and things like that. But if you do not love yourself and your health should come first, then I don't think men will respect the fact that you are the owner of that body.
Pia, I'll remember last time I told you, baby girls, tukumbuke kubeba condoms kila mahali tunaenda.
Next week.
I encourage you guys. I keep encouraging you girls. Hata kama huta afford the female condom labda, the male condom is very, very, very cheap.
And
Readily available.
And readily available. Make sure you have a condom in your bag. Alright? Mi niko sure condom is cheap ni 50 bob, right?
Let them come them for free.
Come
When you meet Alice, I'll give you for free.
Yes. she's one of the connections we have ya kupata condoms for free, alright? Ukimwona mahali kwa barabara, msalimie na umwambie
Niaje ni.
I'll decode your greetings. I'll decode your greetings. Ati niaje?
mwambie tu atakwambia
Yes,
We
utapata
don't
sasa.
judge.
There's no judging. Sawa.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have any additional things to tell us, and also I think we've covered almost everything we discussed, and also all the questions we had, and we have. I don't know if you have anything additional on condoms. Ikifika siku ya contraceptives zote pamoja, we will invite you again, hopefully. But you see, it's because we're towards International Condoms Day. That is why we are focusing on condoms.
Good. Maybe my parting shot is, as we all psych ourselves, plan, wait to celebrate our lovers on Valentine's Day, and especially on 13th of February, where we get so many crises post that. I know we are going to have so many girls coming to our clinic, oh, my condom ruptured, and over the counter buying the post-tuna too. How can you prevent yourself from going to the over-the-counter or coming to Alice to say, oh, my condom ruptured? And maybe it's just a makeup story. I didn't use any, but because I want to be given some prevention from HIV and from unwanted pregnancy, I want to bracket it and say that my condom ruptured. Yes. So to avoid all those stresses, please, guys, I would encourage all of us, condomize. Please, condomize. Mimi niko na yangu, je, wewe uko na yako. As our boy said, let's have it in our handbag. Hata kama huna handbag, tumia hata hiyo phone cover. Iweke hapo nyuma. Si ni hiyo jioni tu. Weka kwa pocket yako ya jeans. Ama weka pale kwa socks. Anyway, hata kwa bra. Yeah, hata hapa kwa nywele. Anywhere, have it with you. Hata ukibeba na mkono. Saizi tuna fight stigma. That's why we are selling it all over. We are actually displaying these condoms all over. And to prevent yourself from going to look for post-tuna too, which is also not very healthy to you, please use a condom. You'll have prevented yourself from unwanted pregnancy. You'll have protected yourself from even from unwanted STI. You could be the one who is infected. Protect your partner, maybe. Sure. Protect that husband of mine who have still toddlers to take to school. Because will be your members on that day. So take care of me. I'll also take care of my Ben 10, whom I'm going to meet with maybe on that very day. So unijali ni kujali. Sure. And as we all prepare to enjoy our sexual life, we wish that we can all have a very safe sexual life, so that when we even actualize it in our marriage, we will even enjoy it in full. Yeah. So until we meet next time, cheers and thank you for being there for us.
Now, before we leave here, do you have any event or activity planned for International Condoms Day that you would like us to attend, or you would like to invite us? Any activity?
As always, this awareness has been very continuous. In the previous years, we have always had our International Condoms Day that we have incorporated so many extracurricular activities. This time round, I know our clinics, especially our DICE, our MCH, our outpatients have actually overemphasized. We have gotten enough supply of condoms. So one, we are going actually to restock all our condom dispensers. And during that very day, the 13th and the 14th, we will make sure anybody who comes to our facility does not leave without a condom if you're not very sure of where you're going to go for your festivities. So be assured, we may not have the tents and the football matches and maybe some entertainment out there, but we celebrate that day in a very special way, but by ensuring that on 15th, we'll see Wamboi the way she was on 12th, without HIV and without a ball in her womb, and without regrets, and without even breakup.
Yeah.
Yes.
So mmesikia sawa. If you do not know where to get your condoms, na kama unaogopa Wambo ataniona nikiendea condoms, enda to hospitali, the doctors won't judge you, right? So make sure you get yourself a condom. Ukinunua maua na chocolate, sawa. Molly, do you have a parting shot? Do you have a parting shot?
Of course I do have a parting shot. But first of all, to just thank Alice for, it takes effort, and the effort we did within the week to make sure we've delivered our promise. And then now on what she has also talked about, the contraceptives and all that. Of course, we said in here we talk about anything and everything.
Everything.
So definitely be sure Alice will be back, either with stories about contraceptives, or she'll take us through our sexual life. Because lazima pia tujijue. Right now, yes, you're talking about condoms. Then maybe we'll be helping someone's marriage or someone's relationship. Maybe their sexual life is not that productive. But obviously, we are here. We got you. We got you. That's what I'm saying. And for my parting shots, watu wa condomize. Hivyo tu. Watu wa condomize. It is about you. Wewe usiende huko kusikiza watu huko nje. Mtu kama atumii, wewe unaweza mwambia atumie, akikataa pia unaachana naye, because anyway you cannot also force someone to use a condom either way. But at the end of the day, we've already gotten the message out there. Use condoms. Stay positive about, wacha usiende kutumia condoms huko alafu unaanza na ikibreak. Don't start, having speculations about things that will happen. Actually, whatever you think, that is what will happen. Unasitazanga kitu yenye una feed mind yako, that is what will happen. So we just have to take in the message positively. Na kama ni sisi unaona tunakuja, now we are, out here now trying to spread the message across all social media pages, then I think we're on the right path. Because we want people to grow healthy, na kuavoid mambo ya mababas, benten, nini hapa na pale. You need to take care of yourself, put your health first, and you'll be thankful baadaye. So for me, that's all.
So guys, remember what we've discussed today. Condomize, all right? Now bado nita insist, baby girl, carry your own condom, all right? So this was all we had today for the 80/20 podcast. My name is Wamboy, and thank you so very much, Alice, for honoring our invite. Next time we will have more discussions.
Yes.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye
Bye
guys.
bye.